Welcome gamers! Welcome to my second playthrough of Burgle Bros. 2. This is the second heist in the campaign. And this heist is Rescue Her Ride. We repossess Juice's car that's hidden in the safe. Once we have it, we need to gather the rest of the crew and escape. But we also need to teach the casino owner a lesson for stealing her ride. Maybe a quick joyride around the casino would solve both problems. So this is our finale. I chose the Juicer, obviously, because it's her car we're looking for, and Peterman, who got a special reward card from the last heist. Speaking of reward cards in last heist, there is one spoiler card in there that might be used. And other than that, everything is without spoilers until we crack the safe and then we flip the finale, which is always a spoiler. So you've been warned. Let's start. This is the setup, again, fully random. I'm very happy how the first floor turned out with the walls. But the positioning of the bouncer and its destination only left us with these two as entrance points. I could also use this one as a second entrance point, but I do this. I'm gonna place them here. Okay. And we're on suspicion level 7, which means there's no distracted card anymore in the bouncer decks, and I removed randomly unseen one bouncer card from the first floor. This is what happens with suspicion level 7. Let's go. We start with Peterman. And Peterman will obviously enter on the top left because that's too dangerous close to the bouncer. Let's see what this room is. It's the owner's office already. That's nice. Okay. And he has 4 action. For his first action, he'll peek in this room. The magic show. From here we can move to another room through walls. Second action is peek at this tile. Oh, that's a prima donna. Prima donna pulls us in the room. Whoops. And when I enter, I have to add a cube to the buffet. That was a real move. I got 1 action left. If I reveal a undercover agent, I'm gonna peek at this tile. That's a drunk. No effect when peeking. And the crow's nest. Okay, that'll give me a heat, most likely. Oh, and I already forgot to prepare some gear. Okay, bouncer moves. 1, 2, 3. Then Juice's turn. Juicer enters here. And it's the pit boss. When you enter, if you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion. That's cool. So I'll make a commotion here and bouncer comes 1 space closer. Before I forget, I have 4 actions, and for the first I want to unlock a gear. Juice's gear, I unlock bingo. Change the destination of a bouncer to a tile in the same row or column as his current destination. That's nice and has 2 uses. Now she has 4 actions. She'll peek here. Cashier cages. She will move in here, which adds a counting cube. She will peek here. Yes, she'll peek here. That's a drunk. No effect. And the count room. That's the end of her turn. The bouncer moves 1, gets a new destination. That new destination is B1. 2, 3. It's great he moved down there because we escaped the crow's nest. Peterman's turn again. Before I forget it, he wants to prep a gear, improvised route. Roll a die. The current player may jump to any tile with a number that matches the numbered roll. 2 uses. First action. Second action is... peek, move. Okay, I'm gonna peek here. Prima donna. Prima donna pulls me into the room, which is a front desk. If you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat. Well, Peterman has 1 heat now. I'm placing one of these cubes here. Then I roll back for 3, which adds another cube here. And, woo, okay. Well, not much we can do. And 4. Okay, let's see how this works out. And the bouncer moves clockwise direction. 1, 2, 3, reaches his destination, and his new destination is B4. Whoa, okay. Chasing the juicer. So how does she get out of there? I can move her with the gear. Okay, let's start moving. 1, if you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion. Okay, bouncer moves here. Now she'll peek here. That's the crowd. Wow, that's helpful. And the escalator. That's 2. 3. Now here's my problem. When the bouncer moves, she's safe, but he'll move clockwise. So the Peterman will gain heat, and I do not want that. How can we prevent this? We can change the destination of a bouncer to a tile in the... Okay, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do bingo. First use of bingo, chase the destination of a bouncer to a tile in the same row or column as his current destination. So I'm gonna change this destination to here. Using gear is not an action. So I have 1 action left and peek here. Slots. Okay, and the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. His new destination is a 1. That's cool. Back to Peterman. If he stays here, she can move into the slots room without creating a commotion. On the other hand, she could start to move up next turn. Okay, Peterman peeks in this room. Prima donna, the next prima donna, pulls him in, and that's the monorail. Okay, that's the first action. Second action is peeking here. Oops, not throwing the tile around, just peeking here. That's table games. When you enter, roll 2 dice and on a 7 or 11 lose 1 heat, otherwise make a commotion. I don't have many interest in this tile. I think we have all tiles that's interesting. It's just interesting if we have some moles here. So actually he'll go 1, so third action, fourth action. Make a commotion unless a teammate is in the same row or column. It is. So that's his turn. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Now the juicer, I think the juicer will move up. It is risky because A, we have a chip here, and B, it's the bouncer's destination down here. But 1, 2, 3, we'll see. First action, she moves up. Undercover, oh my god, okay. Which means the bouncer jumps to this to this room. Let me check if we have any ability. Yes. So I think the timing is like this. We reveal everything. And before the bouncer jumps, because of the undercover guy here, I use the improvised route. I roll a die, 6. The current player may jump to any tile with a number that matches the number rolled. And it says any tile, not on the same floor. So she can jump back to a tile with a 6. That's the pit boss and the table games. Pit boss would cause a commotion, which would be bad for Peterman, so it has to be table games. Well, that was close, and the bouncer jumps. Okay, now that was still her first action, entering the next level, the next floor. Now table game, she needs to roll. It's a 3. On a 3 she makes a commotion. The bouncer moves 1 space. The crow's nest, when he enters the crow's nest, each adjacent character gains 1 heat. That's the second heat for Peterman. Second action, she'll peek here. Hopefully it's a room where she can move to. She can. And that's her third action. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. And for her fourth action, she'll prep a gear. She'll prep fainting. 1 use. The current player ends their turn. The bouncer on the same floor jumps to the tile with the current player, giving no heat to any players there. And then skip the bouncer's next turn. Okay. The bouncer moves 1, 2, new destination. 3. Okay. Now, how the hell do we get up here when the bouncer is on this tile? How does she get out of here? Let me see. I cannot move the bouncer here. I don't have any gear to move the bouncer. Maybe someone needs to sacrifice himself. But whoever goes there takes 2 heat, and then the bouncer goes 1, 2, 3. That's risky. Okay, he needs to do something. Peterman peeks at this room. The drunk does not do anything. And the room is slots. Another slots. I can only enter here. I make a commotion unless a teammate is in the same row or column. And the Peterman already has 2 heat, so it's actually need to be the juicer who goes up there and takes the heat. And she's far away. Okay, we need to keep going. So that was his first action. Second action is he'll move here, triggers a commotion, bouncer moves, and through the crow's nest, even through walls, juicer takes 1 heat. Third action is peeking at this tile. That's the undercover agent. Oh my god. Wow. Everything's going wrong here. And the bouncer moves to the lounge. And we have 1 action left. Moving up here would cause heat, would create commotion. This would trigger a commotion where the bouncer moves 3 spaces. I guess I need to use the improvised route again, the second use. Roll the die. 2. Current player may jump to any tile with a number that matches the rolled die. So 2 is here or here. This is dangerous. No, it's not dangerous. Yeah, but this one is better. So I'll jump here. And the improvised route is used twice. And now it becomes an action. Make a commotion on your tile, then discard this card. And I still have one action left. Prep another gear. 3 uses. Get cracking, add or subtract 1 from a die you just rolled. That's a rough start. His turn is done. Bouncer moves 1. New destination. 2. New destination. Oh, come on. 3. That's a waste of cards. New destination. Now Juice's turn and she's trapped. 1, 2, 3. Wow, this wow, this goes totally wrong. Do we have any tricks? Change the destination of the bouncer. Yeah. Okay. She move 1 for 1 action. She needs to roll the dice. And that's a 5. A 5 means she triggers a commotion. Then we play bingo. Change the destination of a bouncer to a tile in the same row or column. We don't want to move him here because then we gain heat. Let's put it here. So that's her first action. 2, 3. Don't want to go here because then I trigger a commotion. Okay, bouncer moves 1, 2, and 3. This could be a quick game. Now, we need to split up. We need to get up there. And I don't care who, but the 2 slots are really a pain. The next problem is we don't have any mold chips down here. All the mold chips are up on the 2nd floor, which means we need to discover them first. And yeah, then go back down to the owner's office. By the way, bingo we used 2 times, so bingo is flipped over. Well, let's see how far we get. The Peterman moves 1. 2 does not create a commotion because she's in the same column. 3. And can we somehow move her out of the bouncer's way? No. For 4, he'll unlock. That's the spoiler card. That's a reward from the previous heist. The altered ID badge. The current player loses 3 heat if they are in the owner's office. Okay. And she has fainting. The current player ends their turn. The bouncer on the same floor jumps to their tile without the current player giving a heat. So he'd jump here and skip his turn. And would then move. Let's try that. This is already pretty desperate things here. He jumps here and Peterman gains no heat. Tricky. And he does not move. Oh, we have a crowd chip there. That helps. Now, Juice's turn. Yeah, we're going to use the crowd chip. She goes here, does not trigger a commotion because Peterman is in the same row. And she moves here and the crowd saves her heat. And for one action, she'll prep her last gear. That's adrenaline. Set the current player's heat to 5. The current player gains 3 extra actions this turn. Whoa, this is like a card which you use at the end if you really need it. Okay, Bouncer moves. 1, 2, 3. At least he's out of the way. And now it's the Peterman's turn. And he's already at 2 heat. But someone needs to move up here. Okay. He moves up and takes 2 heat. That's 4. And then he better get out of the way to this room. Because the bouncer will move 1, 2, 3. Whoops. Okay, that's first action. Second action is peek or move. Peek or move. Move into this room. When you enter, add a cube. That's the buffet. And I'm gonna peek here. The saleswoman. Whoa, glad she's gone. And 1, 2. Okay, I'll leave this room, unfortunately. But I'll go here. If you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat. He already has 4 heat. Bouncer moves 1. And the destination is here. 2, 3. And the juicer should not move up here, because then at the end of her turn the bouncer would move. But she can actually work up here. She can go 1, peek here, 2. It can move through a wall, that's too risky. 3. And that's all. Is that all? Yes. The bouncer here moves 1, 2, adds 1 cube to this room. And next destination is C3, 3. Then we have Peterman. At least he can get out of the bouncer's way, most likely, hopefully. He'll peek here. That's a crowd. Crowd is helpful. And table games, that's 1. I'm thinking of peeking here before moving in here. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna peek here. That's a mole. That's actually more important. But we cannot stay here because the bouncer will move this way. So for 3, I'll go here. That's the table games. Let's roll a 7 or 11. I need it. It's a 7, which means he loses 1 heat and does not create a commotion. So he's at 3 heat. And I'm gonna peek here. The count room. Okay. Now the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. And now it's time for the juicer to get up. 1, 2, 3, 4. She could use the mole, but 1, 2, 3, she will most likely get caught. So 1, 2, add a cube to the buffet. Peek here, 3. That's the monorail. That's good to know. The buffet in this corner is terrible, because either way up, you need to go through the buffet. She's at 3, and I guess she stays there. Yes. And the bouncer moves 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3, little talk with the mole. And back down here. Peterman moves up in the count room, which says you cannot peek here, and if you end your turn here, make a commotion. So since we cannot peek, well, we need to run in this room, just move into this room. That's a revolving door for 2. Let's see, if I move back, cannot end my turn here. If I move back here, create a commotion, he'll go 1 and then 3. Ha! Looks like I need to stay here. Or I could risk going back here, rolling a die, probably losing heat again. And if I fail the roll, the crowd saves me. Okay, let's do that. No, that's stupid. Okay, I keep it like this. And the bouncer moves 1, new destination, 2, 3. Juicer's turn. Well, Juicer could actually go here, and if she survives the pool event, could talk to the mole. So she goes 1. If you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat. So that's her second heat. 2, and we have a pool event. The pool event says trade shifts. Take 2 cards from the petrol deck that has more cards, which is obviously the petrol deck from 2nd floor. Without looking at them, put them at the bottom of the other petrol deck. I'm fine with that. That was 2 actions, at 3, 4, that's our first safe die, which goes to the owner's office. Wow, that's a slow progression here. And the bouncer goes 1, 2, and his new destination is a 1, so 3, and another destination is down here. Okay. So the bouncer will move 1, 2, 3 next time. Huh. And Peterman is kind of trapped here. He can move 2, 3, 4. He can move 1. Peek. He cannot peek here. He cannot peek in the count room. He does not want. don't want to move to the buffet, because that would trigger a commotion where the guard moves 3 spaces. The bouncer, not the guard. Okay, so he'll move 1, 2, enter table games. Time for another 7 or 11. It's an 11. What a luck. Okay, bad start with good rolling here. So he loses another heat. Now he's at 2. Both are at 2. That's 1, 2, 3. If you have 3 heat, or if you have less than 3 heat, gain 1 heat. Okay, he's back as 3. And at least he didn't trigger a commotion. And joins the juicer in the pool for identity theft. Swap heat with the next player. So now Peterman has 2 heat and Juicer has 3. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now we really need to find those moles. 3 more in 4 gyps. So let's get going. And someone needs to get down. And we need to find the stairs down, the escalator down. So it's Juice's turn, and Juicer peeks here. Mole, what a surprise. And the save. Then she moves here, second action, and action 3 and 4 removes the mole and adds a die to the owner's office. Bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Then Peterman. Yeah. He peeks at this room. Another revolving door. 2. And he peeks at this room. Another mole. And a lounge. And for 4, he'll move in there and draws the lounge event, which is Happy Hour. Set every face-up buffet, surveillance, and cashier cages tile to have 2 counting cubes. Wow. So surveillance 2, buffet 2, cashier cages 2. There are already 2. I think that's all. That's all I see for now. And the bouncer moves 1. His new destination is here. 2, 3. Juicer. Juicer, juicer. We have 1 more mole and someone else, which I don't know who. We'll find out. She'll peek at this tile. A drunk. Okay. She'll move into the tile. That's a surveillance. She'll peek at a tile. It's the mole. And the tile is the pit boss. If you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion. Wow, it's not getting easier. So that was 1, 2, 3. She'd trigger in commotion and the bouncer would get her. Nope. She'll stop here. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, and let's hope for a good draw. That's that's a direct hit. Destination is here. And we have no more gear that saves her. So the bouncer moves into the surveillance room, adding a cube here, by the way, giving her 2 heat. Now she's at 5. Wow. And his new destination is here. That's terrible. It's really terrible. Now, okay, Peterman peeks at this tile, activates the mole for 2 and adds another die, and has 1 action left and he'll move 4. And the bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. Bouncer's new destination is B1. And by the way, we have 1 bouncer card left before he starts hunting. I don't see how we can get through this. Okay, Juicer moves here. If you have less than 4 heat, make a commotion. Well, 1. Spends 2 actions on the mole for our 4th die and then needs to get out of here by just moving blindly into this room, which is the escalator. Bouncer moves 1, 2, another cube to surveillance, 3, and his new destination is D2. And he'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2 clockwise, which would end the game because she'd get her 7th heat. But I have an idea. I do have an idea. Peterman's turn. He has his card. As an action, make a commotion on your tile and then discard this card. So he does that, makes a commotion here, and the bouncer moves down, which is also dangerous because of the surveillance. A 4th cube would have each character on the same floor gain 2 heat. Now where to hide? One of us needs to get down. That's her. I mean, she'll bring up the safe dice. And with the altered ID badge, she can lose 3 heat. That's cool. Now, the Peterman still needs to survive. But he needs to stay close to the safe because she'll send up the dice. So he'll just move back here. That's his second action. Lounge event is peek at any tile on either floor. Okay, there's one left. And that's it. That's it. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3, and now, terrible thing, no more bouncer cards. So now he's hunting, which means his destination is always Peterman. And that will make for a quick end, I guess. Now, the juicer, she just pretends everything is fine, moves down here for 1, and for 2, 3, 4, brings up 3 safe dice. And then we use the altered ID badge. The current player loses 3 heat if they are on the owner's office. So she's back to 2 heat. And this is give the next player an extra action on the next turn. And then the bouncer on her floor moves 1, 2, 3. And new destination is down here. Now, we have a problem here because the bouncer will always hunt the Peterman. I need to move through the bouncer and then he'll activate and catch me again. That's no good idea. If I stay here, he'll move to my place, give me 2 heat, and then afterwards I can move out. On the other hand, and he catch me after that. There's no way. Okay, he doesn't do anything. He'll stay here because then the bouncer and hunt mode will move to his tile, give him 2 heat, but the next turn at least he can move out. Oh boy. The juicer for 1 action brings up the 4th die. And I guess she'll use her card to give the next player an extra action on his next turn. And what is her job at the moment? Her job is maybe finding a way up again. Stepping on a buffet is a problem, so maybe she'll go 3. That's 3rd action. Let's stay there and wait what happens. The bouncer moves 1, 2, 3. His new destination is here. Okay, Peterman has 5 actions. So he'll go 1. He uses a revolving door to go 2, 3. Then actually he needs to crack the safe within 2 rolls. So he has 2 actions left. So first is safe crack roll. Oh, what do we need, by the way? We need 1, 5, 3, 2, 3, 3. Tons of 3s. I will use the 1. That's only 1. I will use get cracking once to turn the 2 into a 3. Then I can cover all 3s. Okay, what's left? 3, a 2 and a 5. Oh, that was stupid. I had a 2, right? Okay, anyway, that was third action. One die goes down here. Oh, sorry, that was fourth action, but he has a fifth from the juicer. Okay. Here we have what I need, a 5 and a 2. So the 4, I'll use Get Cracking to turn to a 5. The 3, I use Get Cracking a third time to turn it down by a 1 to a 2. And this is a cracked save. Okay. Now, spoiler for heist number 2. Disguised change. That's a lifesaver at the moment. All players immediately lose 1 heat. So the Peterman is at 3 and Juicer is at 1. Place the car figure on the save tile. Now here's how it works. You can enter the car with an action. You can move the car as an action to an adjacent tile, even through walls. And if there's more than 1 tile in that direction, skip over the first tile instead and jump to the second one. So it's pretty fast. In a 2-player game, we do not remove walls. In a 3 or 4-player game, you would remove walls you drive through. You cannot move down to the first floor. And actually, we all need to be in the car and then be on any edge tile to escape the casino. Doesn't sound that difficult, but there's a hunting bouncer, which is the case anyway. The second floor bouncer is hunting for the rest of the game, but always sets the car as his destination. Okay, let's keep this here. Now, unfortunately, the Peterman does not have any more action, and the bouncer moves, hunting 1, 2, 3, and since we just lost 1 heat, we're in 3, and now the Peterman is at 4, so he survived. And the juicer needs to get up there, needs to get in the car, and then they need to be on an edge tile. How does she get up? The monorail or the escalator? I mean, the escalator would bring her here. Oh, that's so terrible, because wherever you enter this floor, the buffet will trigger if you move further. But you can drive the car in here. Okay. She moves into here, into the buffet, adds a 3rd cube, which triggers a commotion, where the bouncer moves 3 spaces. 1, 2, 3. And she gains 2 heat. She's at 3 now. Bouncer gets a new destination, which is here. That's her first action. 2, 3. She triggers a commotion. Oh, man. Okay, that's all or nothing now. She triggers a commotion. The bouncer moves here. She gains a heat because she's in a neighboring room. That's 4 commotion for her. That's 4 heat for her, and moves here. Now, if the bouncer moves somewhere here, we lost the game. Otherwise, there is a good chance of winning because I have a plan. That's all I can do now, and hope the bouncer doesn't move down here. So, 1. Oh, come on. Ah, boy. Okay. His destination is here, and he goes here, and that's actually a 6 heat for her. Oh, boy. So So my plan was, so I lost. The plan was the car moves 2 spaces through walls. Actually, I could have moved here without the bouncer reaching me, without the buffet triggering, and she'd only had to need to go up here and enter. So actually, close, but we didn't make it. Wow! There was a lot of bad luck in here, but it was really exciting. Okay, and here is our heist log. Our second heist. Unfortunately, Peterman and Juicer lost. Suspicion level drops down to 6. And, spoiler alert, we gain a reward anyway. And this is another alternate gear card for the Rook. So it looks like the Rook will join us next game. Okay, hope you had fun. See you next time. Bye.